Okay, guys, so apparently when you like neglect a YouTube channel for like 2 months straight, your views will like plummet to the floor. Oh well. Good luck. Good luck. So, alright, straight on to the story. The trees surround us. You can smell the outdoor, you can smell the pine in the air. The feeling of stepping fresh off the bus empties as you step onto the concrete floor for the first time in an hour. Stepping onto the high mountain grounds feels really great. Arrowhead. This is a place that was familiar to me for many different reasons. I loved it, I cherished it, and it was a perfect outdoor setting. It had a lot of nature, it had a lot of trees, and it had a lot of animals. Just walking across the open spaces between cabin buildings and an eating area just made everything better. I was at peace with myself here, and it was some place that knew me best. The moment we got off the bus, we took all of our stuff and brought it in line. Then we moved to a basketball court of some sort, where we would then be introduced to our cabin leaders. And this, and this was the moment we met him, Topher. Topher. He was actually a really nice dude, but he was kind of tall, had long blonde hair, blue eyes, and like a straw hat. He also wore green Crocs. That's important for later. Also, he had a tie-dye colored shirt. He had like 5 different tie-dye colored shirts that he would wear throughout the course of the week. But it basically made him have like a really chill vibe, and he was actually overall a really cool dude. He was the assistant camp manager, meaning that he was basically second in charge, and he knew basically everything that was gonna happen, and he wanted to give us the best experience possible. After we were introduced to him, we basically went back to the bus and got all of our bags that was left outside for us, and we came back to these basketball courts. Now at this time it's about 11:30, so half of us are visibly starving. So they decide that, hey, these kids need food, and they give us lunch. We basically get like hot dogs for lunch, and all the usual condiments that would go on hot dogs, like ketchup, relish, etc. And after we eat lunch, basically they took all of our food waste, put it in a bucket, and told us we did bad because we had way too much food waste. Apparently they also did that with our drink waste, and I had no idea why. Alright, afterwards, we would go back and get our bags, and we would line back up at the basketball courts. At this point in time, we had no idea where we were going to be sleeping, and we had no idea who the other 4 autofills were. Our cabin leader gathered everyone in our cabin and brought us to the cabin room where we would be sleeping. The cabins were not co-ed, for a good reason, and were separated by floors. Fortunately, we were on the bottom floor, which means we didn't have to walk up or down any stairs, which I'm pretty happy about. There was also a restroom outside the cabin. It was like not outside, but outside. How do I explain that? We had to go through like 2 doors just to go to the stupid restroom, but then it wasn't on the outside of the building. It was just in a different hallway, so that was pretty interesting. The first thing we had to establish was who was taking morning showers and who was taking evening showers. Now, I got the luxury of having evening showers because that's what I normally do every day. I'm not a morning shower person, and I also got the luxury of having an entire bunk to myself. Now, there were actually 7 pairs of bunks. Everyone got one, and our counselor got one as well. But I was fortunate enough to get a top and a bottom to myself, and we then found out who the autofills were. One of the autofills, his name was Ethan. Now you all know who Ethan is from The Hike Down, but at the moment, like at that current time, I had not met him at all. I didn't pay any attention to him at all. I didn't really talk to him at all until 7th grade, so yeah. Also, the showers were shared between like 3 boys at a time because there were only 3 showers, all separated by like a really thin wall and a curtain. So we all got 3 minutes or so to shower, so like we can actually finish within a reasonable amount of time. So yeah, it was pretty cool. Anyways, so we went back to the basketball court. So they would explain to us our daily program and how things would work. Apparently we were going to be doing a lot of hiking, which we ended up doing throughout the course of the week. Like we did a lot of hiking, like a lot. And thankfully I brought my hiking boots because then my feet would have died if I didn't. Turns out that we actually had a good amount of free time. We only had about 2 hours. At the time I was freaking out because that was like nothing to me. But apparently 2 hours of free time, you can do like a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh in that time. So yeah. Anyways, we spent the rest of the afternoon getting ready, setting up our beds, and getting settled in and stuff. So after we ate a pretty good dinner, they gathered us all into a theater-style room or like a chapel or something, I don't know. And they did some sort of staff campfire night for us. They told us at the end of the week, we would have to make our own original skit for everyone to watch. Afterwards, we were all getting ready to sleep, and the people who had to take night showers were preparing to take night showers. I was one of them. I was the first wave of night showers, right? So I get into the shower, and I do my thing. All of a sudden, I hear the door slam open. Then Topher walks inside and yells, "Let's get going, please!" And I almost screamed my head off from being like hella spooked, dude. And afterwards, he just closed the door. And guess what? 30 seconds later, he opens the door and yells the exact same thing. Oh my gosh, he does that like 7 more times. And after we came out of the shower, we chanted his phrase, "Let's get going, please." And literally, we would not stop doing that. Everyone else in our cabin was confused on what we were doing. But then the other kids who were also taking night showers would soon also realize why. And that was the end of the first day. I had a decently good sleep that night. I mean, it was kind of hot because the AC was like not working or something. Apparently we had to open our windows, and after the second night we figured out that, hey, windows are a thing. So the first night sleep was definitely not as good as it could have been, but yeah. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you, and I will see you next to Taimu.